Hello, it's 9 p.m. in Art. This time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the transfer of the solar panels installation project for agricultural empowerment in Duda in Arta. For the international scene in Angola, discovery of a 170 carat pink diamond. Welcome to our newsroom. This morning, the Djibouti delegation, led by the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry, Ilyas Moussa Dawale, was received for a working meeting by Mr. Abdurrahman Semmar, Director of Public Enterprises and Privatizations, and his team. The purpose of this meeting is to establish a strategic partnership between the newly created Executive Secretariat in charge of a state portfolio and the Directorate of Public Enterprises of Morocco. After the presentations of the Moroccan model by this Directorate, the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Industry requested that a partnership agreement be signed quickly between the two institutions to accelerate bilateral cooperation in this file. It was also agreed to further strengthen the exchange of experience and training in the framework of a working tripartite partnership between the two sister institutions and a technical financial partner to accompany the economic and social transformations of our country. Finally, the Djiboutian delegation led by the minister includes the Secretary of State in charge of investment and private sector's development, His Excellency Safiya Mohammed Ali Gadile. Finally, the Ambassador of Djibouti in Morocco, Mr. Mohammed Duhur Hersi, accompanied the Djiboutian delegation during this various meeting. The Minister of Interior communicated that the day of Saturday, July 13, 2022, corresponding to the Muslim New Year, will be a public holiday with pay. On this occasion, the Minister wishes the Djiboutian population happiness and prosperity. The Ministry of Agriculture has organized today the inauguration ceremony of solar panels for agricultural empowerment in Duda. The ceremony was attended by the sub-prefect of Tamerjok, the technical councils of the Minister of Agriculture, the deputy chief of missions of the U.S. Embassy, the representative of USAID. Thanks to this project, which consists of the installations of solar panels and a pumping station, the Damerjog will be able to improve their agricultural production. This project is another example of development partners working together to combat food insecurity, create jobs, build self-resilience, and increase incomes. This project was co-funded by USAID and the World Food Programs for a total of $155,000, of which 22% is funded by USAID and 78% by World Food Program. The Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, decorated this morning at 9 a.m. at the Hotel of the Officers of the Army, Colonel Hassan Bassouma, the Air Division General Stéphane Dupont, commander of the French forces stationed in Djibouti, Comfort, arrived at the end of his missions in Djibouti. As for Colonel Hugues de Roquemorel, defense attaché of the French embassy in Djibouti, he was awarded by the Medal of Commanders of the National Order of 27 June. General Stéphane Dupont took command of Comfort on September 1st, 2022. During his military career, General Stéphane Dupont has already been in Djibouti from 2010 to 2012 as a commander of the FFDG Air Base 188. Upon his arrival at the Hotel of Officers Hassan Bassouma, General Stéphane Dupont was welcomed with honors by the Chief of the Defense Staff, General Tahiru Ali Mohammed, chaired by the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament, Hassan Omar Mohammed Burhan. This decoration ceremony was attended by the Defense and Security Forces. This ceremony was also an opportunity to thank and congratulate the Air Division General Stéphane Dupont, comfort descendant for his mission is successfully completed during his stay at the head of the French forces stationed in Djibouti. During the meeting, the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, did not fail to highlight the efforts made by General Stéphane Dupont and Colonel Hugues de Roquemorel for the cooperation of the military for the cooperation relations, military exchanges, and strategic partnership between the two armies. As a recognition for the remarkable work done, it is to be recalled that General Stéphane Dupont was distinguished by the award of the Medals of the Officer of the National Orders of the Great Star of Djibouti, and Colonel Hugues de Roquemorel was awarded by the Medal of Commanders of the National Order of 27 June. For his part, the commander of the French forces stationed in Djibouti, General Stéphane Dupont, expressed his pride in the work we have done together, and I would like to thank you for the trust you have placed in our relationship, our meeting, and our frank discussions. But it is important that we be able to talk to each other and trust each other. For his part, the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, said that the ceremony at which we have gathered at the Directorate of International Relations is the awarding of a decoration. On this occasion, I would like to express my warmest congratulations for these distinctions that you have earned, and I take this opportunity to address you and all the French forces on the occasions of the commemorations of the French national holiday on July 14. General Stéphane Dupont, my warm thanks for all the efforts made since your arrivals at the head of the French forces stationed in Djibouti to strengthen the excellent relationship between the Djiboutian armed forces and the French forces stationed in Djibouti. As part of the implementation of prevention activities against malaria, the National Malaria Control Program has officially launched the campaign of massive and free distributions of long-lasting insecticide treatment net in the municipality of Balbala, and more particularly in the neighborhoods of Pika 12, Warabalay, Nasiba, and Hayablay. The objective assigned to this campaign is to ensure that at least 80% of the population at risk of malaria sleep under a net. As a reminder, the Ministry of Health had already distributed the net in the commune of Rastika and Bulaus during this door-to-door campaign. The nets will be distributed in several sites located in these three districts. The use of the nets is one of the most effective means of vector control recommended by the Ministry of Health as part of its multi-sectoral response strategy against malaria. The Ministry of Health has also planned to distribute additional nets to pregnant women and children during their visit to the various community health centers in the countries. In the long term, the objective of the health department is to achieve universal coverage of the net use by providing the population with an effective means of protection against the bites of mosquito that are vectors of malaria. This Wednesday mornings, the People's Palace hosted the second sessions of the online workshop organized by the Ministry of Youth and Culture in collaboration with UNESCO. This online workshop on the feasibility studies of potential sites in Djibouti for nominations in the continuation of the first of its kind, which took place at the People's Palace last June 15. The event brought together on site several senior executives of the Minister of Youth and Culture. The purpose expert Dr. Geda, representative of the Ministry of Higher Education and Research, Environment and Decentralization officials of tourism, the National Institute of Archaeology, and representative of the French Embassy experts in culture, intangible cultural heritage. The discussions between the Djibouti experts and those acting for UNESCO focused on the ways and means to promote a dynamic legal and socio-cultural arsenal for the protection of the natural and cultural heritage in Djibouti. In a long presentation, the technical advisor to the culture, Mr. Idris Musa Ahmed, indicated that the steps taken by the Republic of Djibouti in order to preserve and safeguard the sites potentially classified as natural, cultural, and archaeological heritage. This Tuesday, July 26, 2022, was held in the enclosures of the Regional Council of Tajura, a capacity building workshop of the organization of the Society of the Region of Tajura, organized by the association Miroir de la Jeunesse Dadailou and financed by the UNDP. This workshop is part of a project that the association is obtained that from the UNDP, and that the association is obtained from the UNDP. The training was provided by Mr. Ahmed Ali Dimbio, an expert who has extensive experience in the association environment. It should also be noted that the presence of the Vice President of the Regional Council, Mr. Abdul Omar Abdul Qadir, and the Deputy Prefect Habib Jilani, who welcomed the dynamisms of associations and the importance of this workshop for young association. The president of the association, Mr. Muhammad Abdul Razak Dawood, has insisted on the importance of the role of the CSO in regional development. As part of the revitalization, monitoring, and evaluations of the declarations of services to citizens and the development of leadership skills, a workshop was organized for executives of the deconcentrated and decentralized services of the Kil region. This ceremony was chaired by the Deputy Prefect of the region in the presence of the Executive Secretary Sekha, the Vice President of the Regional Council. This session has provided an opportunity to discuss the challenges of administrative reforms and the need to provide users with quality public services, but also to create an atmosphere conducive to good collaborations between the decentralized and deconcentrated administration. For the international scene, Women's Euro 2022, the French have been eliminated in semi-final by Germany. The players of Corinne Diacre will not go to Wembley. The French were eliminated in the semi-finals of the Women's Euro by Germany with a score of 2-1, dominated by their opponents. The French were violent and in second half, but without succeeding in reversing the match. The blue the Euro Women's after losing Wednesday, July 27 against Germany 2-1. It is the German who will face the host country England in Sunday's final. Despite a surge in the second half, the French were much less effective than the national Mannschaft. At the beginning of the match, the game was balanced. While the two teams observed each other, the matches were very close. Each team offered a little opportunity to the others. The defense hold and do not allow to place the games, but the Germans quickly appear to be a step above on the physical levels. They had the first real chance in the 22nd minute, a free kick taken by pop was saved by the French goalkeeper Peromania. And to close up this edition, Angola discovery of a pink diamond of 170 carat. 170 carat pink diamond has been discovered in Angola. The gemstones was found in the Lulu diamond mine, whose stones some came from a riverbed presented by the mine owners. The diamond is the largest gem of its kind found in 300 years. We have discovered a large pink diamond, a diamond that we believe has not been seen in many centuries, said Stefan Wettrol, general manager of the Lukapa Diamond Company. You know, we operate a very particular and special mines that's known in our area for finding large stones, but when you recover a large pink colored stones, obviously the excitement is all times high. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.